Welcome to the VisorGP channel. This is an honest review of MotoGP 25 from a point of view of a player who's done nothing but play from first person since 2013. I only go to the outside view for like when I'm just having fun, enjoying, trying things out, and of course I want to see the details of the bike, but when I'm racing, always first person. So what is the game like? What are MotoGP games like? Because the experience has been about the same since 2021 when the helmet camera got really good, and I made a separate video of my review of the helmet camera systems in 24 and 25. I'll touch on it here too. I think more people should try the helmet view. It's an amazing experience. I will literally post hundreds of hours of footage so people can get into it. So in terms of content, what I really care about is playing as Marc Marquez, Quartararo, all my MotoGP heroes. Career is great. I've tried it. I'm still in the beginning, and I think it's a really great mode. And there were some MotoGP games in the past that you had to get a certain lap time to get the development packages, and that wasn't a good system for a helmet view player because I could never reach those lap times from the helmet view because it's such a different experience. So, but here you can set the difficulty. I'm playing around 63, 65 right now, and when I get going it's gonna be close to 100 maybe. But the great thing is you can have it all the way to 20. So, because the biggest thing, like I'll show you soon, that the biggest thing for anyone to learn the helmet view is to just be able to ride with other bikes and slowly raise the difficulty, and you can enjoy it from the very first session, even with the pro settings and everything. So, like everyone knows what the career mode is. You're all familiar with the game. You must have seen reviews of the game. I think the bike development is a really great thing, and I rarely play the career because I have so many seasons. I play full-length seasons, full-length races, 100% distance. One season is like a 100-hour thing for me. It's a big project, and I want to spend that time playing with Marc Marquez, all my favorites, and I also play MotoGP 22, 21, 23 still, and I have so many seasons that I want to play, like so much. So I don't spend so much time here playing with the avatar, but I really miss the bike development in the other like season because I can't, well, there's really no downside of playing the career, so I guess I can enjoy it, but it's still missing from the championship. I think it would be great. Or if you could just choose a real rider in the career, that would kind of solve it. But also, I like tests. This championship doesn't have any kind of tests. No bike development. I guess the nice thing is that all the bikes are fully developed, and there's infinite variety in like how you get the bike feeling and set up in the settings. So I guess it's like this could be like considered like a pro mode, but all the same settings are in the career with the added bike development. So I like that the bike development gives different, like the bike is never exactly the same. So I wish it would be in the single player. With the D-pad, this game usually like skips, like it's really fast. So you have to like, with the joystick, it doesn't skip through things. So I'll use that for now. I don't know every single thing. I don't know about MotoGP Academy or tutorials, but they're not really for me. I'm more of an amateur expert player, meaning I like to be as close to realism as possible, but have the difficulty as easy as I need it to stay with the group and get some results. Time trial is really amazing. I've always loved the time trial, especially nowadays when in these modern games you have tire wear as well, and these like what are these liveries? Test liveries are amazing. It's a missed opportunity. This doesn't have the Marc Marquez special test livery, but I guess they have to put some sponsors in there. But it's not very visually appealing. Like this is like perfection for a test livery. I'm enjoying that there's like a black version of each bike that I can ride with. But so because there's no tests in the championship, I go to the time trial for my tests, and I also use the Grand Prix to kind of simulate a weekend that I select like certain amount of events and then just spend enough time to like feel like I've done a test, but there's no bike development. So like I think we should have tests and bike development on this side as well. Like why not? Because look at Marc Marquez. I wanna ride that bike. I wanna race with that character and feel like I'm in an evolving championship. But that's not a big issue. That's just something that I've noticed throughout the years. I can work with this. I like this still. And race off, I'm not really into these. So, but from the first person perspective, let's just go have a look. Just go with any rider. I've tried this like once before. I don't think we need to try the other two modes. I might spend some time in these game modes. This feels okay. Like, it feels great. It works well from the first perspective. This is not the first thing on my to-do list. So that's for these. Other people have covered those. This is just from the perspective of helmet view players. Multiplayer, I've never tried it because I play only from the helmet view. I don't think there's a mode where everyone plays only from the helmet view, and that might be chaotic. So I think it might be an offline thing. Customization is really great in this game. Like, I love how people have created special livery helmets, and like it helps me out when I try the career or the custom rider. Now let's just go to time trial and talk about things. Okay, let's first talk about like a championship. Race settings. Tire and fuel consumption is incredible fun from the helmet view, because you feel that the bike is different throughout the race. Bike damage is on a graphical right now on my end, because I just had a race where I got bumped into maybe 10 times. Like, it was Thailand. That was a race that a track that I haven't like really done, because I've always like kind of skipped it. I got bumped into 10 times. My bike got totally destroyed. I never fell off the bike, but my bike was so destroyed I was like 3 seconds slower than everyone. So I finished last, even though my pace would have been like close to the top group at least. I enjoy that this can be disabled, but it's so much work just managing to stay on the bike and try not to crash into other riders too hard. So I'm not really missing out if the bike damage is off, but like when it's on, I enjoy that. When I crash, I have to go into the pits, but I guess I can simulate it just by going to the pits after crashing. So there's a lot of like things I have to use imagination for, and which is okay, because helmet view is a niche thing, but there are certain things that really should be improved that I'll talk about soon. Laps 100%. That's a no-brainer for me. MotoGP Stewards, this is another thing that is very, very different from first perspective, because even if you have it at light, like most of these are like totally okay. Like, I should get penalized for these, but there's one thing that is like irregular entry in pit lane. At least when I tried it a few times, like on some tracks it was hard to stay within the lines, and then you're like trying your best, but then you cross the line, and then it's a long lap penalty for the next race. And also, if you have this on light and you crash, because you will crash into other riders, not if you're fast enough, you have pace, you make clear, you're like fighting in the top 3, you make clear overtakes, not then, but like on most races you will crash into people. And the trick is to learn how to ride in a way that you're not crashing hard, that you have good enough pace, that you move to the side if you need to. But if you have it on light, you're getting right through penalties left and right. And it's so much harder to keep your concentration from the helmet view, racing a full-length race, not passing the lines so much. So, but also with this setting, I feel like I can cut the corners a little bit too much. So I have to like police myself because even the tolerant setting is too much, but the light has been like the best one for me. Like, until I master all the tracks, like really, really master, it takes a long time in first person. I'm gonna have it on that setting. And Grand Prix is the same situation as championship. So let's just go to time trial and talk about what life is like as a... Actually, let's go to a Grand Prix I know this track really well, so that might be a good one. We'll just do a practice session. It can rain. It has rained in Qatar once, I remember. Why isn't that an option? Because it should happen. We'll leave this on for now. Or off, because I'm just demonstrating. So we'll just go to the practice mode. This helmet view camera system, like you can go watch my longer review on it. But it's really, I think it's so much better in 22 that I think they should change it to 25 and not wait to change it to 26. I think it's crucial. I love the two bike setup. This is so amazing from 23. Like one of my favorite things, because I like, even though I'm not an expert at setting up, I love trying things. Even though before you could load and save and kind of have two bikes, I love this setup. I love the personal times that I can see here and everything. I think there's a thing where you can't see your lap times here that needs fixing. So let's just go. Let's get a little less fuel. Let's just go on track. So in the race, like I always race without the HUD, even if it makes life difficult sometimes. And this dash has most of the information that real bikes have. It is a real dash. Is just missing basically a function that part of the screen could change into important information. Like when there's 4 minutes left in the session, or I don't know when, but the riders get like maybe the bottom half of the screen or bottom fourth like changes to display whatever information, like time remaining, low fuel, and stewards like decisions and whatever else. And the teams can send you like setup, like mapping changes, like this is missing that feature, and like this camera view, I've played close to 24 hours in this view now, in this game, since I got this game on Thursday or Friday. It's Monday now. And you can play from this, but it's not immersive, and also it's really like, it's actually like inferior, because you're just locked in this center thing. You don't have the immersion of like riding the bike. You can barely see any of the bike. Now I was braking, so the rider moved back, but you can barely see the bike. And in the previous ones you could lean like more to the side of the bike, and this game should have like a free camera where the rider would move to the right side now of the seating on the bike and move to the left side, and the helmet should move to the left and right, but it does nothing. And it's not like, even if Marc Marquez goes to the side that much, it's not here. It should be here. Why is it not here? This makes no sense. Even though this is technically usable, like, let's follow these guys for a second. And you saw that hesitation I did. That doesn't exist in 22 because the view gives you so much more information. You see all your critical information too late from this view. You can use this and get used to it, and it's not a horrible experience, but because 21, 22, 23 already had the perfect camera system, especially 22 because it showed enough of the bike. And also riding style differences should be displayed in the degree, displaying the degree of how much the player is leaning. Like, it should literally follow the head and be realistic. We should see more of the bike. I don't even have the helmet on, and I can barely see any of the handlebars. So this really needs improvement, because you have to like hesitate, and you have to wait past the point where you can make a decision. Like, if you would be on the side of the bike, you would have all the available, like, necessary information like much sooner. If I was on the side of the bike and feel it moving, I could aim it there. But like, you see everything a split second later from this view and have less information, so you keep like making all kinds of like, whoa, I made this mistake, and then you're going left, right, and it's not a great thing. So let's talk about what a HUDless player needs. Like, one thing is you can't see the pit boards, so, and I will not break the immersion and use a HUD. Sometimes in practice situations I have to, because let's talk about the pit boards first. It would be nice to see how many laps are remaining from the pit board, and like authentic information about. I think the info is there, but it's just so small that you can't really see it when you fly past, even though I have a 55-inch monitor on my PC. So I'm just asking for realism. I'm asking for the developers to imagine themselves. They should create this game that includes this view as an integral part, that it can be fully played from this view, that it's like thought out. For example, when I go to the pits now, I know how much it's doing something. I know how much I've used my tires, because it shows the percentage. But fuel is automatically filled to the set limit. Like, now they're refueling the bike to where I've said it before. I don't know how much fuel I have left. The only way a HUDless player can know how much fuel they have left is to use the HUD. So it doesn't make any sense. It breaks the immersion. Like, especially like after, if you've raced 45 minutes from the helmet view, and then you're curious, I wonder like how much I wonder if I'm running out of fuel. No way to know. You have to break the immersion, press start, activate the thing, disable the thing. Like it's not awesome. I think the AI works really great. I think if I have the pace, if I have good lines through the track, I don't have any issues with the AI. So it's not a problem. I can set it lower if I'm having issues. But like, there could be some code with the AI if you're playing from the first person view that it would take you into account a little differently. Not much, but maybe some situations. I don't know if it's something. More about the helmet view. I've set this setting, customize camera, to 5% because this is way, I just mentioned that this is way too close. But this 5% is creating the fisheye effect that, like, even though it's not much, it's still there. That when I'm approaching something, I was like, whoa, that's close, that's really close, and then I brake, and it's like a mile away. Like, it would help with, this is good for sensing if I want to like sacrifice on that point and benefit from having a better chance at seeing a rider beside me. But it should really be that I could adjust the camera, I could keep it at 0 or wherever I want to put it, but adjust the camera like back and forth, kind of like I've mentioned before in the review, that it would simulate kind of like a different size rider or a seating position, because this bike looks so amazing. All the lighting in the carbon fiber, this is like the coolest bike I've ever seen from this view, but when I play here, I can't see it. And also, like, it would really be great if I could see the handlebars when I play the game. And also, head movement, a big thing. Let's say you go wide here, then you can't see who's coming, so and when you press B, you look in the wrong direction. You would have to be leaning towards here and then pressing B. And this pressing B just doesn't like work. It doesn't solve every issue. There should be head movement. I should be able to look at the bike. I should be like, I just enjoy these bikes. I enjoy doing wheelies, stoppies. It would be nice if I could just see it. A real rider can see the freaking gas tank if they want to. They can look to their right, they can look to their left, at least in certain situations. And when they're here, they can look back. And this is like a lottery, depending on your situation. If you're looking to the wrong direction or if you're seeing the right information, it's really hard seeing what happened, like where the other riders are. But if I had more head movement, I could easily, at least like close to the sides, I would have so much information, and this would cover behind. But I just don't like this camera system. It just doesn't work. Even though it's technically functional, it's not immersive, it's not interesting, it's not fun. They've done it right before. I know they can do it the same and better. I know it. The helmet view just hasn't received enough love. But let's hope it does now. That's why I created this channel. I really enjoyed in 21 that we could like pick up the bike and the opponents had to go pick up the bike, and it created interesting things for the championship. But so it's kind of like taking you out of the immersion that you fall, then you're magically on the bike 2 seconds later. You can still chase the leader, and it would be nice if falling would have actual consequences, because now I have to, as I'm playing this as a simulation, now I have to imagine, I don't know, but then the opponent doesn't have to wait around till they can get going. But there are players who won't finish races for some reason, so that makes up for that. But still, it takes out of the immersion that it doesn't feel like I can fall off the bike. There should be at least a time delay. Even though the walking to the bike isn't simulated, there should be a time delay of how long it would take, even if there would be consequences. I think we would like the option. These physics feel so good in 25. Let's talk about the physics. They make sense. It's easy to understand, especially if only this had the MotoGP 22 camera system. This would be my favorite game ever, literally. Favorite game ever. Just add the camera system back. It's the greatest game I've ever played. Even though there's still some bugs, but the game just came out. It looks great. I want this game to be really good. I know the physics are not, they're a little bit too easy. There's no vibration yet in the controllers. It's still lacking, but it's so close. 21 was never polished. It's full of bugs. I don't want the same for this game. And this already is less buggy than 21, let's be honest. When I'm racing close to other riders, I have a pretty good sense of where they are, and now I got the corner, but I enjoy racing. The closer I race with these AI, the more I'm enjoying this view. There's nothing like this view. The camera system just needs to go back to 22 and improve on that. Just making it more realistic. You can find a bike, find a helmet, see what the rider actually sees, or look at GoPro footage. Like in-helmet camera footage, there's plenty of them. I want that visual. And also, like, was it in 24? I'm not sure if it's here, but in the replay, you can change to a camera that simulates a realistic helmet view. And I'm like, why isn't that in here? With less head shaking. And actually, if you look at footage from motorcycles, the helmet is not shaking like so much. I really want this game to be great. And even though I can feel so much with these physics, even without vibration, I can feel that how the bike is moving underneath me. There's still, because there's no risk, there's no danger anywhere. I feel like this feels like, to me as a simulation enthusiast, this feels like the arcade mode. It needs to be more nuanced, but it's so close. It's so close. This is honestly really amazing. I think this mode, the helmet view, just got lost in, like, the developers know what they're doing. This helmet view just got lost in translation of, there was no one to talk about it. There was no one who really, they didn't know if anyone played from this view. And they just made it more arcadey, more accessible. This feels like an arcade version of Hang On, a modern Hang On. This doesn't feel like I'm riding a motorcycle, even though it's not bad. But why should it be not bad? Why shouldn't it be great? Because it was already great in 22. So those are my thoughts about the game. It's a great game. It would be like, there's always little things I want from the game. I haven't tested everything, but if you change the swing arm length, does the length change visually in the bike? If you change to a bigger brake pad, does the bigger brake disc, does it change visually? There's like exhaust coming off the exhaust. If I set it to neutral, the velocity doesn't change if I'm on the gas or not. Like little details that could, I can make a list of like everything that would be such a small difference, but like small change, but would make all the difference. This Marc Marquez era with these Ducatis, with the aero, with the ride height device, such a cool era. Even though I prefer bikes without aero, the ride height devices look so cool. 24 had a similarly arcadey feeling camera system. This is even simpler. Like, and it's not, I'm just saying arcadey because this is just simpler. This is just not as good. It was more intuitive. It was more easy before. It was more natural. This game needs a good first-person view because this is the second last game ever that features these bikes, that feature Marc Marquez on a red Ducati. If this doesn't get a first-person view, helmet view right, then that's it. That's it for this era. 22 immortalizes the 22 year for me. I'll be literally be playing that game 40 years from now. 4 years from now. But I won't be playing this one even though this might become my favorite era of all time, I won't be playing this one 4 years from now. I'll be playing 22 because that has that camera system. I'm playing this because the game physics feel great. These bikes are incredible. This is incredible, but the helmet view isn't there. And it honestly needs to change. That's my honest opinion. I might be the person with the most amount of hours in the helmet view. I've played these since 2013, thousands of hours, even though I don't claim to be an expert player. I don't want to be an expert player. Or maybe I want to be. I might be someday, but because I'm really excited about these games. But I care about immersion. I care about how it feels. I want to make content. For years saying 25 and 26 were the greatest motorcycle racing games. And then we can continue to 27, 28 and keep it the same. But it can't be done if the helmet view is like this. So that's my honest review about this. And the character is clipping because I'm using the 5-degree backwards thing, so I can see some of the bike sometimes. But that's why when I'm looking back, the character is braking, and I'm fine with that. But I would like to move the camera back or forth, or they could just make it right and include all the riding styles too, how much the head is leaning. And like I mentioned before in the other review, the rider change from one side to the other should be visible. And this is all so easily noticeable if you just look at footage from an actual helmet, see how it looks, make it like that, then it's perfect. And test the game from the first-person perspective for 26. Can the game be played like a MotoGP season from the first-person view? Make changes. My channel will be full of every little detail that could be taken to an account. Let's make this the greatest motorcycle game from the helmet view there is. It's so close. We just need the helmet view back.